Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Nick, and today we're doing another action figure review. This is the Emissary Predator from The Predator, and this is by NECA Toys. I got this from freshfigures.com. I get all my NECA figures from there. I've been shopping with them since like 2016, never had any issues. I get everything really quickly in the mail, the prices are great, and if NECA announces a new figure, you can typically pre order it right away at Fresh Figures for only $1 down, and then they won't charge you the full amount until the item is in stock, and then you'll get it very shortly after that in the mail. Like I said, it's very fast shipping, everything's packed real well, and they do have the best prices. I've done some comparisons to some of the other um, retailers of NECA toys, and I still believe after shopping with Fresh Figures for about 3 years now, that they do have the best pricing. So I got the Emissary Predator from there, and I also got the Lab Escape version of the Fugitive Predator um, at the same time, because again, NECA's dropping a lot of stuff on us right now, and this is the one I was the most excited for out of the two, because even though this one is not in the film, it's an incredibly unique predator. So the Assassin Predator is probably the most unique predator we've gotten in a very, very long time in general, but I'd say this is the most unique predator we've gotten in just the regular 7-inch scale. So this is a deluxe figure. So he is coming in the window box, just like all of the Predator figures for the new movie. So yeah, the first release of the Fugitive, all the other ones, the Assassin Predator, they all come in the same type of packaging that opens up like that. And I like this because it's like you're getting a high-end figure, but really for a regular retail price, an affordable regular retail price. So you got some nice gallery images of this Emissary Predator in kind of like a military type setting. You can pause that if you want to read that. I think that's just a summary for the film, just the basic premise. Nothing about this specific character. These guys were deleted from the film. The gist is that they are kind of like your version of like Roswell aliens that crashed on Earth, but they're alive and they're just hanging out with us, and they're just wearing basically human soldier outfits and using human weapons. And that whole movie involved predators augmenting themselves with DNA from other creatures. So, and that includes humans. So I'm guessing these predators are probably a little bit more human than some of the others we've seen. And I assume they would have acted more human. The Fugitive acted very human, but I think these guys would have acted even more so. I would like to see a cut of the film that includes these guys, as well as this rumored menagerie of Predator hybrids, kind of like the old school Kenner Aliens toy line, where you would have had hybrids of, like the Night Cougar and the crab, the killer crab, and, just wild boar, all these crazy animals mixed in with the aliens. We were going to get something kind of like that with predators, where there would have been like a spider predator and maybe like a mantis predator and just crazy stuff. I would have liked to have seen that, and I would have liked to have seen these guys as well, because even though they would have been really, really crazy and out there, the movie was already pretty bad, so you might as well make it very entertaining. So, that being said, I'm glad we at least got a figure of it. I'm assuming that NECA Toys, when they started making this figure, probably thought these guys were going to be in the film, and then we're so far along they were like, well, even though he's not in, we might as well release him. Then again, it's not uncommon for them to do figures based on concept art and scrapped ideas, because we did get the albino alien for Aliens, with like the big probe tongue. So it's not uncommon for them to do that, or like the translucent prototype alien. So I am happy we got this one. It is a 100% brand new figure. I thought that maybe like the head was reused from the first release of The Fugitive, and that they had just sculpted these ridges on, but it looks like it is entirely brand new. There's a really cool metallic sheen on it. it's almost like, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's kind of metallic, and there's kind of this wet look to all of the um, skin, all the exposed skin. It looks like it's wet and slimy and realistic. Very, very cool. I don't know if they've done that on their earlier Predators. I think they did it with the Ultimate releases of the City and Jungle Hunter, but it's a really nice touch. And I really like how they sculpted brand new armored hands for him, and feet with these wrappings. They could have just used like the naked foot from Predator 2, or just, you know, a bare naked hand from the Fugitive Predator and painted it purple, and called it a day. I don't think anyone would have complained whether these guys were in the film or not about accuracy. You know, to me, that's a small thing that could have been overlooked. That they could have cheaped out on, but I really like that they went that extra mile and took the time to sculpt these and paint them. And, you know, they have separate individual paint, you know, or like chips, like metal chips in them, that aren't sculpted, but they're painted. So, you know, again, on the paintwork, I already commented about the skin, and I really like the purple here. I like how ever since Predator 2, we've gotten Predators that have very different skin colors. And surprisingly, the purple goes well with the camo. I typically don't think purples and blues go well with browns and greens, especially natural colored browns and greens, but in this case it looks really, really good. So I already said that the skin is painted very well, but it's a very nice, clean, almost, I'm guessing it's a print that's on the armor. I don't know, it doesn't feel like it, but it's very, very clean, very nice looking, and then very nice, I guess, print effect on the legs. There's a lot of sense of depth on all these pouches. They feel like they're individual pieces. I think it's all like one rubber unit. Like this is one rubber unit, this is another one. These are like sculpted onto the leg, but this is individual. You know, I mean, they can't come off without you ruining it. But there's a lot of separate pieces here, which really just adds to the depth of the sculpt here. And I like how they've painted these metallic chips in the armor, like we saw on the hand. There's a couple of them. There's some on the back. There's a few on the armor. There's even some on the knee pads, and they kind of catch the light really nicely. So again, that's something they didn't even have to put there, and they didn't have to use the metallic paint, but it is very, very nice. So really, really cool. And this weapon, which I thought was going to be hard to put in his hand, but it's easy to put in and out. This is really, really nice quality. I mean, usually you just get like, you know, a solid painted plastic weapon that, you know, like the Lab Escape Predator, you know, he comes with a nice looking gun and all, but it's just one solid black color. So with this one, we get this nice metallic silver for the gun. Let's see if we can focus in here on this. Real nice metallic silver, and we get this pouch, which is separate, and it has like a little feeder of bullets in there. And we've got all this nice little detail. So we got the nice gunmetal coloring, and there's even like this nice texture on the handle as well. So really, really nicely detailed weapon, and it goes into his hand very easily. And one of the reasons for that is this hand is not sculpted too stiff. It's very, I don't want to say it's gummy, but it's a softer plastic. Same with the other hand. Actually, all the hands have like a softer feeling to them. So you get 6 hands altogether. So these are like the kind of grasping weapon hands. So you got this one that can hold the gun, you know, in his palm, and this one that can actually have his finger on the trigger. And you get your typical splayed hands, and then you get your fisted hands as well. But, you know, it's cool that, I mean, they could have just given us a splayed hand here to hold, you know, to hold the gun two-handed, but I like how they have one that's like gonna cup the barrel of it. And then we do get another Predator head, and again, they could have cheaped out and just made this the helmeted head that we got with the Fugitive Predator, and just painted the rim of it purple, but this is clearly sculpted underneath as a new Predator head because we have the ridges right here, which is really, really nice. And then, so he can obviously hold his weapon two-handed very nicely, very easily, which is important to me. Although he is probably strong enough to just hold it with one hand since he's a Predator. But as far as articulation goes, we got a nice swivel side to side, shoulders up and down. They can't really go in and out because of these shoulder pads. We do have the double jointed elbow, so you get the full 90. But you can use each joint individually. We got the nice ball joint at the wrist. I'm always worried when I pop off these joints that I'm gonna like break the little ball joint in there, and that I won't be able to put another hand on. I'll just have to like glue it. I won't be able to interchange them, or I probably wouldn't even be able to glue the hand on because it's a small area. But since these hands are a little bit softer plastic, I feel very comfortable pulling them off, and they're not too loose either. So we have a rotation at the waist. We have another rotation at the upper torso, and that's cool because this flap kind of comes up, so you can see where you have that sculpted and painted detail, and it allows him to not be restricted. You have legs that move forward, in and out slightly, and then you have the double jointed legs where I only have like the top joints working right now. This isn't a very stiff figure, thankfully, but I still have at least 2 stiff joints here at the tops of the calves. And then we have that typical rocker joint at the ankle as well, so it can rock side to side, forward and back. But really, really exciting figure. Again, one of the reasons the second Emmisary Predator figure might not be as exciting is because we already got this one, but this initial one to me I think looks the better of the two. I will probably pick up the second one eventually, but for now I think this is a very, very exciting figure. So, you know, there's a lot of figures coming out in this particular line, and a lot of figures coming from NECA in general, but I think this is definitely one you don't want to overlook. I don't think it's anything NECA's going to revisit in the future because it is so obscure, but really happy that they made it. So if you haven't already, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and be sure to pick up yours at freshfigures.com. I'll see you guys around. Bye.